Well, student, very good morning to all of you. Myself, Dharmendra sir, and I am going to explain the rest of the paragraph and the part second of the chapter Jalebies. Student, I hope so that the chapter Jalebi gives you a very interesting and thrilling in your mind, and you just feel some attraction toward the delicious and syrupy jalebis. Am I right? Okay, now let's start the chapter. Just as I was gathering up the heap, in the distance I spotted our Tonga. Chacha Jan was returning from court, and when I gathered the jalebis as a heap just close to a Tonga, then I saw that my Chacha Jan was returning from the court. Then I clutched the jalebis to my chest and ran into the gully. And then, to hide himself, I clutched the jalebis from the chest and ran toward a street so that I could hide himself from his chacha. Usually, we do these things when we see our parents and some errors is being committed by us, then we try to himself hide from their sights. So he also does these things and hide himself in a street. When I reached a safe corner, I began to devour the jalebis. I ate so many. And when I went to a safe corner, then I began to eat that syrupy and delicious sweets. That means jalebis. And when I ate many, so many jalebis that if anyone pressed my stomach, a little jalebis would have popped out of my ears and nostrils. And here, student, he expressed that he ate so many jalebis that even a single body can touch his stomach, it can be come out from the mouth, from the nose, from the ears. That means he complete ate that jalebis that full his belly completely. There is not a single space is remain in his stomach. मतलब वो उसने जलेबी को इतना ज़्यादा खा लिया था कि उसके पेट में थोड़ी सी भी जगह नहीं थी. वो एक्सप्लेन करता है कि अगर कोई उसके पेट को टच भी कर ले ना तो जलेबीज जो हैं उनके नाक से मुंह से बाहर निकल आएंगे. दैट्स वाई यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट द कंडीशन वुड हैव बीन एट दैट मोमेंट विद दैट बॉय हु हैड अ लॉट ऑफ जलेबीज. स्टूडेंट, when you got a chance to go any party and there are a lot of delicious and lot of tasty foods served to you, then you ate just enough than the regular, and then your bellies begin to come out and it will swollen. That's if someone pressed to your stomach, then it will be come out. This situation is also explained by this boy. Now, very quickly, the boy from the entire neighborhood assembled in the gully. By that time, I was placed with my stomach full of jalebis that I got into the mood for the some fun. And that moment, the student who lived in the near village or the near street, they gathered around him. And after eating a lot of jalebis, I want to make a fun. I want to sports. I want to just digest them. So, I started handing out jalebis to the children around, delighted. They ran off, jumping and screaming into the gullies. Soon the whole lot of other children appeared, probably having heard the good news from the others. And then I began to start distributing jalebis among the other boys of the gullies. And when the news spread in the gullies that the jalebis were being distributed here, then all other rest boys also began to come and asking jalebis from that boy, and after eating that jalebis, they become delighted and make funs themselves. Soon a whole lot of other children appeared, probably having the hear the good news of other. I dashed to the halwai and bought one more rupees of worth, and jalebis came back to stood on the chabutra and one of the house, liberally distributing jalebis to the children, just like the governor sahib used to distribute rice to the poor and needy on the Independence Day. And when our jalebis has ended up, then I ran toward the halwai shop and then again bought 1 rupee worth of jalebis and began to distribute among the other boys of the gully, just like a governor. As governor used to distribute rice among the poor people, just I feel in that moment that I was a governor and I was distributing sweets among the poor children. He himself compared here as a governor. That's why here the simile is used. But it's not a simile is the part of a prose, but it's a part of a poetry. But whenever the condition is expressed that one thing is compared with another, at least a single part of a thing is compared with another, then definitely simile would have been used there. By now there was a huge mob of children around me, the beggars to lawns, and as usual, if children could be elected in the assembly, my success would have been assured that day. And after hearing this news, lot of boys gathered around him, and at that moment he think himself that if I participate in an election, then surely I will get a win in this election. To seeing his popularity that day when he was distributing sweets among the children. मतलब उसे ये लगता है कि जिस तरह से चिल्ड्रन में स्वीट्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहा था ना, तो उसको लग रहा था कि अगर इस समय मैं इलेक्शन में लड़ जाता ना, तो इतनी मेरी पॉपुलैरिटी हो गई थी कि मैं आसानी से इलेक्शन भी जीत जाता. Because one of a little signal from the jalebis waved in hand, the mob would have been willing to kill and get killed for me. Because after having that jalebis, they are eager to kill to anyone or kill himself for the jalebis and for me. मतलब वो अब किसी भी तरह से हर एक स्थिति में किसी को मारने और मरने को भी तैयार थे जलेबीज के लिए. उस समय मेरी फेम इतनी ज़्यादा बढ़ गई थी. I bought jalebis for the maintained 2 rupees as well and distribute them. And then again I bought 2 rupees worth of jalebis and distribute them also to the children. Then I washed my hand and mouth at the public tap and returned home, putting on such an innocent face as if I hadn't even seen hint of a jalebis all my mouth. Then after spending all the monies on the jalebis, I returned back to the home. Then before returning at home, I washed my hand from the taps and mouth so that there couldn't be a single reminiscence or the hints, sticks on my lips, on my mouth, on my hand, so that it might prove that I have eaten jalebis of the worth of 4 rupees. So he wanted to remove all the evidences of guilt, and making an innocent face, he returned home. That means उसने क्या किया, पूरा हाथ मुंह को धुला अच्छे से, ताकि कोई भी सबूत उसके चेहरे पे ना बचे कि उसने पूरे पैसों की जलेबी खाई है, और चेहरों पर एकदम इनोसेंट जैसा एक इमोशन लाकर वो घर लौटता है. जैसे आप लोग कुछ गलती कर लेते हो तो क्या करते हो, नॉर्मल सा चेहरा बनाते हो ना, जैसे लगता है कि तुमने कोई गलती की ही ना हो. Just like this. Jalebis I had gobbled up easily enough, but digested them because and the matter. The eating of jalebis is a single thing, but to digest them is another matter. भाई बहुत ज़्यादा खा लेना एक बात है, और बहुत ज़्यादा को पचा पाना दूसरी बात है. सारी मैटर्स सारे प्रॉब्लम्स कब अराइज होते हैं? जब हम बहुत ज़्यादा खा लेते हैं और उसके बाद पचाने की कोशिश करते हैं, देन बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है. With very breath came a burp, and with every burp, the dagger of bringing out of jalebis or two. The fear was killing me. At night I had ate my dinner as well. If I hadn't eaten, I would have been asked to explain why I did not want any food. And if I had pretended illness, the doctor would have been summoned. And if doctor come after feeling my pulse, he declared, Munna has devoured a mound of jalebis, I would simply die. And here is a great dilemma, that he is suffering from the overeating jalebis, and when he returned home, he had to eat dinner also, because if he denied to eat the dinner, then he had to explain that why he didn't want to eat. And then if he pretend that he is ill, then doctor will summon. If the doctor will be summoned, then doctor will declare that he had eaten a lot of jalebis, and then my thief can be catched. जब आप नहीं खाओगे तो घर पे मम्मी पापा पूछेंगे क्यों नहीं खा रहे हो. अगर आपने कह दिया तबीयत खराब है तो डॉक्टर बुलाया जाएगा. डॉक्टर जब आपके पल्स को चेक करेगा तो बता देगा कि भाई आपने ओवर ईटिंग कर लिया है. तो ओवर ईटिंग आपने किया है तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा आपने क्या ओवर ईटिंग किया है, तो फिर आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि आपने क्या खाया है, देन आप पकड़ लिए जाओगे. इसलिए उसने अपने आप को बचाने के लिए इस तरह से करता है. The result was that all night I lay coiled up like a jalebi, suffering the stomach ache. Thank God I didn't have any. Eat all 4 rupees worth of jalebis by myself. Then I have been suffering from complete night, and I just catch my stomach and try to just soothe my stomach ache. And I also thankful to the God that I haven't eaten the whole worth of 4 rupees jalebis, because I have just eaten the less of 1 rupee worth of jalebis. Then it is my condition. If I have eaten 4 rupee worth of jalebi, then what would happen? भाई 1 रुपए की जलेबी में सभी कुछ ही खाने पे ये हाल था, तो अगर 4 रुपए की जलेबी खा लेता तो क्या होता? तब तो उसका पेट ही फट जाता. Otherwise, as they say, when children speak, flowers shower from their mouths, but I would be the first child in the world that whose every word a crisp fried jalebi would come out. And here he explained that when the children speaks, then the odor of a flower come out. But I was the only child in the world that when I speak words, the smells of a crispy jalebis was coming out. Children don't have stomachs. They have digestion machine. By machine to keep working right through the night. In the morning, just like any other boys, I washed my face, and like a virtuous student with chalk and slate in hand, I headed for school. And the next day, अगले दिन मैं बिल्कुल अदर वर्चुअस स्टूडेंट की तरह अपना चौक और स्लेट उठाया और फिर कहाँ निकल गया? अपने स्कूल को निकल गया. And I would go to the previous month's scholarship that day, and once I had paid the fees, with that amount the jalebis would be completely digested. और उसे फिर लग भी रहा था कि उसने जो पैसा उसको प्रीवियस मंथ का फी जो जमा करना था उसने तो खा लिया है. अब किसी तरह से उसकी फ़ी अगर पैड हो जाए तो वो जो जलेबी उसने खाया तो वो रियल मायने में डाइजेस्ट होगी, क्योंकि जब तक देगा नहीं तब तक तो दर्द बना रहेगा उसके पास. एंड फॉर दैट ही वॉज कम्प्लीटली डिपेंड ऑन द स्कॉलरशिप. उसके लिए तो स्कॉलरशिप पे वो डिपेंड था. द जलेबीज वुड बी कम्प्लीटली राइट. बट वेन आई गॉट to school, I found that the scholarship was going to be paid the following month. My head started to spin. I felt as if I was standing on my head and could not get onto my feet again even if I tried. Then I went to school. I got information that what the scholarship is about to distribute among the student. It was going to be going to distribute the next month. That's why I just began to feel like that I was standing on my feet. That means my head is spinning. मेरा सर चक्कर खाने लगा कि अब मैं क्या करूँगा. Master Ghulam Muhammad announced that the fee would be taken during the races, and my teacher, Mr. Ghulam Muhammad, announced that the fee will be collected after the interval. When the races bell rang, I tucked my bag under my arm and left the school and simply followed my nose, walking on and on. If no mountain or ocean blocked my path, I would have kept going till the earth end and the sky began. And once I got there, I would say to Allah Mia, just this once save me. Order a farishta to pass by and drop just 4 rupees in my pocket. I promise I will use them only to pay my fees and not to eat jalebis. And he began to think that and try to make a plan that how to escape himself. So he just put up his bag in his arm and began to walk on and on. And he think that if a mountain and a ocean wouldn't stop or begged his way, then he will go to the last end of the earth, where the earth touches to the sky. And then he asked to the Allah Mia that Allah Mia, please send a farishta to me, and farishta will give 4 rupees in my pocket, and I would pay that money as a fee of my school. And then I promise that I will never eat jalebis for those money which is given for the fees. Student, have you got? That means वो क्या कहता है? वो कहता है कि अगर वो धीरे से बैग अपने हाथों के नीचे दबाता है और सोचता है कि मैं भागते हुए उस जगह चला जाऊंगा जहां इस धरती का आखिरी कोना हो और जहां पर ये धरती आसमान से मिलती हो, और फिर मैं उस आसमान में बैठे उस अल्लाह मियाँ से पूछूंगा, कहूँगा हे अल्लाह मियाँ कोई फरिश्ता भेजो. वो फरिश्ता मेरे जेब में क्या करेगा, 4 रुपीज़ डाल दे, और ताकि मैं अपनी फ़ीस चुका दूँ. और मैं तुमसे प्रॉमिस भी करता हूँ कि मैं दोबारा ऐसे पैसे से जो पैसे मेरी फ़ी के लिए होंगे उससे मैं जलेबीज़ नहीं खाऊंगा. I couldn't reach the point where the earth ended, but definitely reached the point where the कंबलपुर रेलवे स्टेशन बिगिन. हाँ, मैं उस जगह तो नहीं पहुंच पाया जहाँ पे अर्थ आसमान से मिलती हो, लेकिन हाँ उस जगह जहाँ जरूर पहुंच गया जहाँ से रेलवे स्टेशन स्टार्ट होता है. The elders had warned me never cross the railway tracks, and then I saw that some elders were stopping me to cross the railway track due to the accident. एक्सीडेंट के कारण वो मुझे रोक रहे थे कि मैं रेलवे क्रॉस को पार ना करूं. स्टूडेंट, हियर इज अ मैसेज टू यू दैट यू ऑलवेज come to school, and for that you have to cross your 4-way railway crossing, etc. For that you have to make some patience there. You would have be stopped there and gaze both side of the roads. Then you make sure that no one speeding car or speeding vehicle coming towards you, then try to cross the road. Otherwise a dangerous casualty would be occurred. So keep these things in your mind whenever you cross the road. So let us start. Had also warned me that must never eat sweets with the once fees money, and he also warned that never spend your fees on sweets or other things. आपको अपनी जरूरत के पैसे अनयूजुअल थिंग्स पे कभी खर्च नहीं करने चाहिए. हाउ डिड दिस इंस्ट्रक्शन एस्केप माई माइंड दैट डे, आई डोंट नो. एंड किस तरह से ये जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस थे वो मेरे दिमाग से उस दिन निकल गए थे जिस दिन मैंने अपने पैसों की जलेबी खा ली. आई डोंट नो. सो स्टूडेंट, यू गॉट द मीनिंग and the message what is happening here with that student who had spent just a 4 rupee what for his fees, and you always did these things. That means you always waste your money on the rubbish things, on a waste things, just like a momo, chow mein, etc. You shouldn't eat these things because these things is not good for your health. You used to eat your food which is prepared at your home, because the things which is cooked at your home, that is safe and healthy. So I hope so that the second part is conveying the complete message, what is the psychology and what is the condition of that student. So try to answer the given question, and then I will explain the part third in the next class. Thank you.